Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Edna Keefe, and I have with me Mike Sjogren today, and he is our Airbnb go-to guy. He knows everything Airbnb, and so I wanted to bring him on. Mike was actually going to speak at our 3-day event, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. And so I wanted to bring him on and just share what he was going to share at the event, plus some updates on how he thinks we can still do really well throughout this COVID-19 virus. So, Mike, tell us some of the things that you're implementing now. That's first of all, let's talk about the virus that you're implementing now that is working for you.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks, first of all, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
So I think for so long, we've been kind of spoiled in the industry, right? Like if you find a good property in a good location, you take some nice pictures, you put it on Airbnb, and poof, you make a bunch of money. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really, really easy. And we've been spoiled, and this whole coronavirus thing has really thrown a wrench into a lot of people's businesses. So what we've done, and one of our friends and mentors, Rock, always says, is he who is most flexible always wins. So it's like, how can I adapt? How can I switch things up? What is the opportunity right now? And a lot of it is just getting back down to business fundamentals. Okay, like going back to marketing and sales. Before, you could just put it up and things would happen.
Yeah.
Now we have to be a little bit more strategic. So some of the things that we've been doing, and I was going to talk about this at the event, but there's 9 different reasons why people travel. When people think of Airbnb, a lot of the time they think, okay, it's going to be vacationers or maybe business people. But
Mhm.
there's a whole bunch of other reasons why people travel. And if you can find properties in certain locations, they tend to do very well regardless of what's going on. Okay, so one of the areas that I talk about is hospitals. If you're anywhere near a healthcare facility, like that is a great niche to be in, regardless if you got COVID going on. But we have a bunch of properties near, not even huge hospitals, but just, local hospitals where people might be getting some type of treatment where they're going to be there for a couple of weeks. Okay, it's a much more economical solution to have your family or your extended family in an Airbnb style property than renting 2 or 3 hotel rooms. And plus, people they want to feel comfortable. They're already going through a lot. So if you have a nice property close to the hospital, that's huge. Plus, like right now, some of our properties are around Boston. There's a bunch of hospitals, and we're getting all of these nurses and doctors that are getting relocated to some of the bigger hospitals, and they need a place to stay. So we're getting a lot of those bookings right now. And that happens all the time, not just with COVID.
Mhm.
The other thing that a lot of people don't really think about, and this applies to any market, is there are life events or just family in general that people want to be around. So there's a lot of our properties right now where people are taking their spouses and their kids just to be closer to their elderly parents for the next month.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love that. I never thought about that, but totally true, right?
Yeah. So we actually had at one of our remote properties up in the mountains in New Hampshire, we had 2 women go and stay there for 2 weeks to make sure that they were totally quarantined before going and visiting their elderly mother. So they went and just camped out, hung out at our mountain house for a couple of weeks, laid low, relaxed, and now they're going to go see their mom. Okay. So
Oh,
it's all
nice.
how you market, right? We've changed all of our listing titles to say, stranded traveler discounts or um, long-term stay discounts welcome, quarantines welcome, like all those types of things to, again, come back down to market essentials. Like, who are we targeting right now? There's a lot of demand for people that need to be in certain locations. So how do we attract them? Okay, some other things that you can do. Everybody immediately goes to the Walmart mindset. Like, I have to be the cheapest on the market right now. I've got to slash my rates like crazy,
Isn't that the truth?
right? And there's just this like panic to the bottom. But what I would encourage you to do is start to think a little bit more creative. Okay, I'm in a bunch of different mastermind groups. I have a coaching program, all this stuff. So I'm just pooling all these ideas from different people. And one of them that I thought was really cool was somebody that would stay for at least 3 weeks in a property, they would buy them a 50-inch 4K TV. Now that TV might cost them 400, 500 bucks, but that reservation might be 2 to 3,000. But it's cool. Like, people, it's just like the whole Best Buy thing or, Super Bowl ads. It's like, oh, I want a new TV. It just feels more tangible. So instead
Oh,
of
like
reducing your rates in
to
half,
take home, you mean? To send a
yeah,
TV home with them? Oh, or
yeah,
ship it from somewhere, right?
ship it to them. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
they'll get a brand new 4K TV. The other thing, again, if you're in the mind of somebody that's going to stay at a property, they're traveling and they want to hunker down for a couple of weeks, what are the questions that they're going to have? They're like, okay, cool. Is there going to be enough supplies? How am I going to get food? Like, are the grocery stores even open there? And if they're not, maybe you could offer them $100 or $200 Instacart gift card so they can have groceries delivered to the property.
Okay. Okay. This is awesome, Mike. This is such
The
good stuff. Lots of stuff I didn't think of myself. I don't know if my team did, but I did. So,
the other thing that we've been doing is, quite frankly, just getting on the phone with our upcoming guests and just reaching out to them and just being honest with them, like, hey, how you doing? Like, where's your head at? Just wanted to let you know, here's some additional information about the property. Here's what's still available around the property. These restaurants will deliver. These grocery stores are open. You know, these facilities are available. And just being much more active in the marketing and
proactive. Okay.
fostering those leads. And we've saved at least 10 reservations in the last 30 days by just getting on the phone with people that were, you know, they don't tell you this, but they're on the fence. They're like, should I go? Should I not go? Are they going to have what I need? So it's just being much more proactive when things get crazy like they are right now in order to maintain your revenue.
Awesome. You know, our one building that we've got, I think 7 out of the 12 units as Airbnbs, we have had our record month and it's not even over yet, like a record month. And a lot of it is, yeah, self-isolating, people coming back from holidays. They got to isolate from the rest of their family for a while. And so, yeah, it poses challenges, but it also poses great opportunities.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of folks that do, you know, the lease arbitrage or the master lease. Well, they'll go to you, Edna, and rent your property for, say, $1,000 a month, and then they put it on Airbnb and they make the difference. You know, a lot of those folks are freaking out because they have, especially at scale, you know, you get 50, 100 units, your monthly lease payment could be 100 grand.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
what they're doing, again, just like me, is they're actively reaching out. Where is my ideal customer? Right? I was talking to a guy in Philly last week. I think he's got about 75 units, and he reached out to a bunch of the local hospitals, and he texted me, texted our group the other day, and he said he was able to lease out 40 of his units for, I think it was 45 days, to this hospital that needed places for organ transplants because the hotels are not a good fit for him. One, you don't want to quarantine in a hotel because you got 10,000 people in a little place. But
Yeah.
he has all these dispersed Airbnbs, and he's got 40 of them just taken care of like that.
That's brilliant. Wow. For yeah, okay, so that was to transplant patients.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna stop you for 1 minute because I know that you were talking before, and one of the things you were going to launch at my event was your mastermind. And just because we're a little bit limited on time, I do have another booking right after, but can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I heard you say, I'm masterminding with this person and this person, this person, this person. I'm doing my own mastermind. What would be the benefit for somebody who, you know, has a few, maybe wants to expand, maybe is thinking through challenging times like this? And I remember your program, you're to say, okay, I know that you can be making 100 grand a year in a year. What would you tell those people thinking about that kind of stuff right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing, and we were talking about this offline, is people first and foremost, you have to protect your mindset. Okay. There's so much fear and negativity just slammed into us over and over and over again. But if you step back and you start to think logically and you do your own research and you say, okay, here's what's going on. Who could I still serve right now? Who needs a place to be? Where would I want to have my properties right now if I'm going to continue expanding? And then focus on that. So start blocking out a lot of the noise and start to think rationally. Okay. Now with the program, it's a few different components. So it's basically like franchising my business model from A to Z first and foremost. So I teach you from whether you have a couple units, or you're completely new and you have no real estate experience, on everything from how to, you know, get your business set up with your LLCs and your bank statements and all that stuff, all the way to how to locate properties, credibility packs that you can use with landlords, all sorts of stuff. I've got my own deal analyzer that I've built. We've got the furnishing fast pass. You can work with our team. We'll even design the properties for you. all
Wow.
that stuff, all of my business like SOPs and systems for how to, as you scale, how to bring on team members and train them and act more like a CEO instead of an operator. Okay.
Great idea.
And
Yeah.
that's been the biggest shift for me over the last year or so is I don't really do the day to day. Like I don't, I play
No.
the quarterback and I'm directing and
Yeah.
playing much more strategy.
Yeah.
And that's just a whole business mindset thing in and of itself. But the goal of that program is to have a small intimate mastermind where we meet and we have some one-on-one coaching and then we
How
come together
small?
as a group.
What size are you looking for?
I'm only looking for 10 people.
10
Because I
people.
have a larger coaching program where I help people get started, but I want this mastermind to just be 10 people that's focused on scaling to 6 figures in 12 months that are really serious. They're looking to build a full-time income from this business. And that's what this mastermind is for.
I think I have a team member I want to put through that, Mike. So let's make sure we talk after because I think what you're doing is powerful and it is about mindset because everybody goes to fear automatically. You know, I even did it myself. When the panic hit last week, I went, I'm laying off all my stuff because I'm not going to have any money and I'm going to be broke and not going to have any rents and all this kind of stuff. And guess what? A week later, I'm busier than ever, making sales left and right. Our Airbnb had the best month ever. Like that, but it was instant. And I think it's instant for a lot of people. So talking to people like us, right? And I don't know if you had any panic thoughts in the moment. I imagine you did.
Absolutely.
It's a shift. It's a decision to shift that mindset and go, damn it, no, I'm not going to be one of those people that goes down into a rabbit hole and you never see me again. I'm going to thrive in this time. I'm absolutely going to thrive. And of course, that's the kind of people you want in your mastermind too. You know, they maybe had some doubts or maybe a little scared, they may be a little worried, but they pull themselves out of that rabbit hole and they're ready to go, right?
Absolutely. I've
Okay.
been going back to just some critical books, that I've always loved. Like I love the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Lake Babin. There were a couple Navy SEALs, and it's all about just taking control of what you can control. Okay, I cannot control COVID.
No,
I can't.
no.
But what can I control? I can control how I adjust my marketing, how I adjust my revenue management, I've been just quite frankly using this time to focus on improving my processes and my team. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if I don't have as many bookings, great. I have more time to focus on the actual business side of things than I would in a crazy busy season. So like maximize your time, look at the opportunities. And then
No,
if you look at like Think and Grow Rich, all
oh,
these
yeah.
guys that made so much money, they came out of the depression.
Yes, I know.
It's
I
like,
know.
it's the complete opposite of what people think.
Yeah, yeah. So have you reached out to any of your, because I know you've done a lot of lease to lease, so you've leased from other landlords. Have you reached out to any of your landlords asking for a break?
So I actually don't do the lease model. Mine are all management. So I have no money in my deals. But
So
what I
there's
will
no
say,
management. Okay.
but I will say that I do have some students and some other guys in different masterminds that do. And yes, definitely, if you have a master lease right now, definitely reach out to your landlord and just be honest, guys. There's no hiding this. Like this is taking a hit worldwide on economics in general. So just
Hmm.
be open and honest with them. So some of the strategies that they were talking about is, okay, hey, can we defer the rent for a couple months while all this craziness is going on? If you need to charge interest, whatever, but can you cut me a break on the rent?
Yeah.
If not, I'll sell you the furniture and you can manage it or whatever. Or we could do like what I do is just partner. Say, hey, I know things are crazy right now. Why don't we just partner and we'll do the 75-25 split, just like I do, where the owners will actually have an opportunity to make more money than they normally would. And they're just going to have a little bit, it's not consistent. It's not like I know I'm going to make $2,000 a month, but I might make $3,000 this month. I might make 2,500 next month. I might make $6,000 the next month, and just giving them opportunities. But the biggest thing, guys, is just don't hide it. Just be open and honest and just say, hey, here's where I'm at.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about it to make this work?
I have one that I've subleased to somebody, one of our apartment building units. We gave him a really good deal just to see if he could make it work. He's a local guy, just trying to get everything going. And he reached out to me and he said, so my tenant thinks that he might not be able to pay rent because what he ended up doing is he didn't even Airbnb it. He subleased it as a long-term furnished rental. you know. And I didn't really talk to him about why he did that or anything. But I said to him, you know what? You tell your tenant that there is relief out there for people who can't pay their rent. So I said, I'll get my assistant to send you a link. And that's what we've done. That's what we've done with all our tenants too. We've given them links to say, if you need rent relief, you need to go here and apply, whether you have the virus, whether you've got laid off because of it. And even business owners have a relief something or other coming up. So this could be great opportunity wise for people, because you know what, Mike, I think all the scaredy cats are going to go south. The rest of us are going to make a killing, right?
I tell everybody, I see so many of, I call them like the mom and pop owners that are going to get out of the business. And then by the end of the summer, I'm going to hit my 50 units by the end of the year. Like we're going to double the portfolio this year, because there's going to be so much opportunity. It's going to eliminate a lot of the noise. It's going to consolidate, and it's going to offer a lot of opportunities that for people that are serious about this business. Like, I'm serious about growing my business. If you're not, then don't get in the game. But if you are, now's a good time.
You don't even take the time to learn what you need to know. Lots of people say, oh, this is an easy way to make money. Well, it is in the good times, not so easy in the bad times. You still got to step up. And if not ready to step up, then yeah, step out. You know what? I had just a couple questions from my team. One said, I'd like to know what new protocols they're following with the pandemic, and do they screen guests now differently? And what new services you're offering as a result. So I did get some of the new services that you've offered on here, but can you expand on that a little bit?
For sure. I mean, we still follow our typical screening process where we make sure that they have a completed profile. We always ask them how many people are going to be there. They've got to have a government issued ID on file. And we just ask them what brings them to the area. Because again, once you're trying to figure out why are they coming to you? Because again, this is market data that you're going to use in the future. So that when you look back, you can say, what percentage of my market is this type of person, this type of person, or this type of person? So coming out of this, again, you can start to continue doing more outbound marketing and retargeting those types of people and catering your listing to those types of people. But I haven't done any, like, we don't have somebody standing there with a thermometer, like making sure nobody's got a fever going in. We just ask people, why are you coming to the area? And obviously we're just communicating with our cleaning staff to be safe, wear masks, make sure that we're Lysoling everything, disinfecting the entire property, just our standard operating procedures, quite frankly, whether it's COVID or not. Like, we want to sanitize every property every single time.
Yes.
So
we've been doing that too. Like extra, we gave our caretaker extra hours to say, you know, just go around the building and wipe off the railings and wipe off the doorknobs like as many times a day as you can think of it, because as people are coming, going, or maybe after the rush or whatever. So yeah, that's some of the things we've done too. Okay, perfect. What was the other one? Somebody has said, we've had a few times where people stole items. Would a doorbell camera be worth installing as a possible preventative measure?
100%. I put cameras on every property.
Camera is. Okay.
So it's, I was going to say, I might have one around me. I've just ordered a bunch, but it's by a company called Ring, and it's just an easy little camera. It's about yay big, and you just put it on the outside of your door frame. So that's how we monitor, like, the activity of who's going in and out of the property. That combined with the Wi-Fi locks and some other things. But I like to keep eyes on every property that we have. Depending on the value of the items that they take. So if you're going to process a claim through Airbnb, here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to make sure that you have evidence, some type of photos or something of what was taken. If you have a video camera and you see them on camera, that's the best evidence that you can have. And then when you submit the claim, you want to make sure that you have a receipt or that you have a link to the same product, so that Airbnb knows that I'm just not saying that this camera is worth $600 when it's worth $200.
Okay.
Then you request the money, and then you just continue to follow up. I will say, recovering damages for stolen items is much harder than for broken items, because you really don't have photos of stolen items. You know what I mean? So it's a lot harder to prove that somebody stole stuff. Most of our claims are, you know, sheets that got stained because they didn't wipe their makeup off before they went to bed, or what, just stupid stuff like that. Occasionally we'll have like a broken chair.
Can you make a claim like that they stained your sheets?
I do all the time.
Oh, really? Never
I do all the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, eh?
especially around Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. This is awesome. Like, I love this stuff. I'm so glad that we got to talk because, again, I initially wanted to talk to you just for myself. And I thought, no point. Put it
Just
in front
record
of
it.
everybody because everybody needs to know. And people who want to take advantage of maximizing their time, because a lot of people are off work right now too. So what do? Do you sit there and twiddle your thumbs, or do you get busy learning this kind of stuff like Mike's offering? So Mike tell us about the different courses that you have, because there's some people that watch that haven't done Airbnbs before, they're brand new, and then there's people that have some going but want to expand on it. Give us the whole array.
Yeah, for sure. So basically the first program that I came out with, like the core product, it's called Short-Term Rental Secrets. And that program is essentially designed within 6 weeks to get you up and running into your first property. Now I talk about the three different methods. You can buy property, you could master lease property, or you could co-host or manage other people's properties. And I love that model because that's how I was able to scale so quickly, because I quite frankly didn't have the cash to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I partnered with landlords and we just do a 75-25 split. But it covers everything around how to start the business, how to run the numbers, how to find the deals, everything. It's kind of the soup to nuts program.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, I added on Elite for those that really wanted to scale. And that's more of a mastermind that focuses on how to create systems, how do you hire people, how do you grow this from a small operation to a much larger operation, and kind of pull yourself out of the business.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, instead of, this is a very easy business to get into. So I see a lot of people just get in there and they're doing the cleanings and they're restocking the supplies and they're doing this and that and that. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but you're not going to add more than 1 or 2 properties because there's not enough hours in the day.
Much work.
I wanted to teach people how to create a business that doesn't rely on you to trade time for money. So STR Secrets is designed to get you up and running. Once you hit, I'd say 5 to 6 listings, then it's time to think about if you want to continue scaling, then you go to Elite. If you don't and you're happy with where you're at and you want to just leave it as a side passive income, then stay in Secrets.
Okay. And then the mastermind.
So the mastermind is Elite. So that's the one that's more focused on after.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the one that's really focused on growing and scaling to 6 figures and beyond.
Okay. Perfect. So, and how do people connect with you, Mike? How do they find you?
Yeah. So, you can see me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram at the Airbnb Guy, or you can send me a message at michael@occupiednow.com. And I'm always happy to talk shop. I'm super passionate about this stuff. And the one piece of advice that I will reiterate is to stay positive and see the opportunities. Okay. Mm-hmm. Block out all the negative noise and think logically and rationally.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go? How am I going to get there? And if you're serious, just like with anything, acquire specialized knowledge, become decisive, all the principles of Think and Grow Rich, guys. If you haven't read that book, it's like have a burning desire and you'll find a way, I promise.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this was just priceless, Mike. Thank you so much for being on. I'm gonna send you a recording of this, so if you want to share it with your people, you do as well. So awesome. Everybody reach out to Mike if you want to know anything about, don't waste his time. He's a busy guy. But
I'll throw in a free training too if they're interested.
Say that again?
I'll throw in the free training. So I actually did a 2-hour free training with Rock last week and I recorded it.
Oh,
so I'm happy to share that with folks. Yeah.
Okay,
and there is a special offer on the back end. And Rock threw in like $1,000 worth of bonuses too. So that was really cool. So they can check that out at STR Secrets, stands for short-term rental, strsecrets.com. And we'll have that recording posted up there for you guys.
That's awesome. So request that, because that's going to give you all the basic knowledge. And then from there, you can decide how you want to best work with Mike. Take his course, take his mastermind, that sort of thing. Because I tell you, he's brilliant. I met him, was it 2-3 years ago now? And I've just seen massive growth and such an amazing attitude, which is what I look for in people too. And he's really enjoying what he's doing too, which is another thing I really look for, because there's a few things in my life I'm not enjoying right now, and I'm trying to get rid of them. And one of them is just like not managing some, certain stuff. I think for anybody, that's the biggest slower of growth. Too much management, like it, and it totally kicks the spirit out of any good entrepreneur too, right? Yeah, all that management, those are
100%.
just headaches and issues. So anyway, reach out to Mike, and thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye for now.